Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, today we've got a map from a creator we've done twice fairly recently in the past, episodes 1447 and 1453, where they got 10 and then 11 stars. And with today's map, I would say we're still on an upward trajectory, which is pretty fine. In fact, I think today they have hit the standard that they just want to continue at. Yeah, sure, 15 stars would be great, but you know I've got to get out the right side of the bed to be doing that sort of score. So it's a fantastical map. It's fairly aesthetic in all of the good ways, and of course in terms of playability it's certainly playable as well. Won't be to absolutely everybody's tastes, but I think it's going to be to more people than less people, fewer people. I like it, and that's a good thing. I would certainly build on it if I had the time. Now, speaking about time, do you know what takes less than a second to do? That's right, thinking of the answer to that question probably took less than a second, but actioning it, 2 seconds. Thank you for your support. Today's map is Moonbay by Artifis. Okay, it looks a little bit like a seashell, doesn't it? Seashell Islands, anybody? Shall we turn back the clock a few years? What was it, years ago? Blimey. There's your start square. That looks pretty playable, doesn't it? Very enticing. Good work there. Overall, plenty of buildable space with some undulations in there and a few cliffy bits too. And then we've got resources which are good and strong. Good and strong. Maybe can't access too much of the ore, but other than that, still very good. And if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, we've got most of the little fishes in what is a fairly pleasing map. Off to the workshop, and what do we need? Well. Tree anarchy is there because we've got a lot of trees. We'll be using the Seychelles map theme today. The Seychelles LUT as well. Short description. Some of my favourite descriptions are short ones. It saves me a bit of time rather than have to spend half an hour reading and understanding and digesting. Then here's your one-click collection. It's Tree Anarchy, the theme, the LUT, and the map. Always include your map. Tip of the day. BonBon's tip of the day. Always include your map in your one-click collections, and then your one-click collection will appear at the top of your description. You don't need to link it in. You can also link it in as well, saying you need these things, because some people are dumb. And that's fine. That's fine. Include it as but have your map in the one-click collection, and then it will appear at the top of your list, which is nice. Anyway, down to ground level. Aesthetically, the only thing I'm not a big fan of is see that hill on the left ahead of us right now. I think that's just a little bit lumpy. That, for me, aesthetically, is the biggest downer. If you call it a downer. It's not even a bad thing. It's like, sometimes you look at a hill from a direction in real life and you go, that don't look very aesthetic. Hey, it's not everything looks pretty from every direction. I mean, look at myself for starters. When I look in the mirror, I try to face backwards because I feel that's my best view. Anyway, it's a really nice map. It's one of those maps that you look at from sort of like the top-down view and you go, yeah, that's not going to work. It really does. It really does. It's a strong task. Now, as we're doing our little drive-by, it's just the one highway that cuts across the entire map. I know, again, it's only because there's always somebody new coming and joining in. Oh, I didn't mention. It's Tuesday. It's request day. Today's map was requested by the creator in the comments. And also, actually, in terms of requests, yes, you can request in the comments if you like, but there's a chance of it getting missed. If I have a busy couple of days, sometimes I fall a couple of days behind, and then I skim the comments, and then I can miss these things. Always stronger to send it via social media, either via Twitter at Edge of the Sofa, or Facebook, or over on Discord. We have a Discord server with a map request list as well, so you can stick your request in there. Those are some of the options. Of course, carrier pigeon, you can do that, or failing all of those things, yes, leave it in the comments. You have a chance of being missed though. Where were we? Yeah, so this week doing something a little bit different with the intermissions. It's not through greed. It's just an experimentation, just to see whether or not, because I've been running the same commercials, some of them for quite a while now. Intersection there, which is going to take us across towards the start square. These shoulders on these off ramps, just a little bit shouldery. I'd like to see them just a little bit. I know a few people will say, yeah, but then you get stop-start traffic. Not necessarily. Is the answer to that. It depends how much you push them. And yes, I'd just like to see them a little bit more aesthetic. And speaking of aesthetics, there's something going on down around this big building thing on the right that we'll have a look at that a bit later on. Aesthetically, I would say it's one of those things that is just easily flown by, like I've just done, and not really appreciated for the work that went into it. We'll make sure we'll have a look at that later. Start square intersection. This is very pleasing. Oh, that's very pleasing tree work and foliage work. Though we got a little bit of foliage encroaching onto the ramp there, but only a little bit. And then we've got this long road with the tree decorations down the middle, which is very, well, I grumbled about a certain recent DLC map with long stretch of DLC decorations running down, tree decorations. Oh, speaking of trees, loving these logs, get the words out, logs, loving the logs, makes it look like it's just being felled for your city build. I like that, it's enticing, makes you want to get down there and build there. There's credit there. But yeah, I think the length of the decorated tree line there, running down the middle of the entry highway, was a little bit longer than, because you got to remember, the map is bigger than it seems. Yeah, we fly over these things in moments, going, look, you know, there's not much space to build a city here. And then if you were there in real life and you put your feet down, you go, well, do you know what? I can still build something reasonable here quite often. And today's map, say that highway there, I don't know how long it was exactly, but I would say it's at least 1 kilometre, maybe 2 kilometres. It's in that 1 to 2 kilometre length. That's 1 to 2 kilometres of palm trees running down the middle of the road. It's not like, even 100 metres is quite a long way in real life. Now, when you get into that sort of distance, I'm grumbling about things. It's a fantasy map, so we can allow for little things, like when we get to the rail and we see some sort of gradients going on with the rail. We can speaking of the rail, here's the rail, edge of the map. We'll jump across the rail now. Yeah, I'm not even going to switch the lines on, because we're going to be able to see that there is a little bit of a slope going on, but it's light and it's a fantasy map, and so light and fantasy map we can forgive a little bit. So anyway, yes, with the channel this week I'm just running what they call mid-roll adverts, relying on YouTube for the intermission. I just want to see what the analytics, what the numbers throw up, and whether it's worth me continuing. You know, I don't make a full-time living from this, and if it's pointless me doing it, it's fine. And next week I won't be doing it. I'll be trying something just a little bit different, something that I think's actually more valuable to me than mid-roll adverts. But mid-roll adverts was just something easy to get started with. So anyway, yes, I'll leave you with them. Yeah, this is all downhill, this bit, wasn't it? Definitely, you could definitely feel the slope, but it wasn't so bad on the fantasy map. Everybody's favourite factory. All the sidings there. I like the sidings being on that curve. That was quite pleasing as well. Normally you see them very straight, but no, that's all good. So yes, so that's the plans for this week. Just to see, you've always got to make a couple of little changes here and there, and I have got 1 or 2 changes for the show planned for this year. It's going to take me a while to put them in. The BonBon buddies have already been told, and we'll just have to see. I'm not saying it's going to happen for sure, but I have a couple of plans that I want to insert, and hopefully it'll give the channel a bit of a fillip, because sometimes you just got this. If you're doing the same thing all the time and things don't change, it can get a bit boring. It gets a bit boring for me sometimes. All of the same editing every single day. Anyway, all looks like we're coming towards the edge of the map if we bear off to the left. So do you know what? We'll take an intermission right now. And so back to Moon Bay by Artifice and the shipping routes, which are almost perfect. Yeah, there's an imperfection. I don't know, Artifice, how did you miss this? Anyway, perfectly lovely. Very happy with the route here. And then we have the shipping triangle. Look, see how it splits here. And if we go right, let's see, it goes all the way over there. If we go right, though, it'll take us down towards the edge of the map. And then another connection which will link us up with the bit that split off to the left, which is this one. And this one doesn't go any further than here. I'm pretty sure it was meant to connect up with that one. So, of course, that means that any ships coming down this route, we're going to have to do a very sharp turn at this location. And it's going to look very, very silly indeed. What isn't silly, though, is the water flow in the start square. Here's your start square. We've got a little bay up there and a little bay down there. And so you've got two separate water sources. And, look, we've got a water spawn point there as well, pushing the water out. Do you know what? That is about as good as you could ask for. Now the map as a whole, it's just got a real lovely aesthetic vibe to it. These coastlines, oh man alive, not just the coastlines, but look here. Look at the resources that are being used here. It's sandy, it feels like it's the desert, but have a look. It's just an extended beach going into the land. Look at the sand there, and then sand coming in here. A real seashell vibe. Very nicely done indeed. Then over here, just loving the shape of this, the way that we've got little aesthetic coves cut into it. Loving the shapes, the serrated edges to the island, the way the sand connects the islands up. It is beautiful. I mean, it really is beautiful. Big buildable space there. That's your start square there, and loads of room across the map to actually be building. So yes, the rail cuts here and here, so you're a couple of tiles away from the start square with the rail, at best, depending on which angle you buy them in. Tree painting, like it, don't love it. I mean, this is. I mean, it fits perfectly with the map, but even then, these little spindles of trees are going up the side of all the hills. Again, very nicely done, but I don't really buy it. It's not quite to my personal taste in terms of how you've detailed the mountains there. But again, the effort that's gone into it is excellent, and a lot of people are going to be shouting at their videos at the video screen now, going, "What are you talking about, BonBon? That's beautiful." Yeah, precisely. This is why we have this show, so we can all agree to disagree with things. Loving this. Okay, this lake up or down here, and then a little feeder lake here. The detailing here is just lovely as well. So that one left feeds into this lake at the bottom, but the lake is being fed. This is actually upstream we're going now, being fed from up here. So this is a water spawn point at the edge of the map, if I pull the camera back a little bit more. Now, so I'm a little bit perplexed because the water is flowing down into that. That's a well. I would rather see those little lakes at the high ground feeding into the spiral. I think that would work better for me. Anyway, down this your start square, one of those two little coves that we had a look at with the start square, including the glory hole, which has been used beautifully. That is lovely. That's a delightful thing to see, Artifice. Very pleased with that. Also really liking this. These are very hard to do well, but it's a little caldera. There you go. Old volcano. Very neatly done. Again, nicely tree detailed. I don't know whether or not, I don't know how you deal with those, because it's so difficult to actually do downward crater things. But still, hey. The aesthetics of this rock along the island. At first I thought, oh, I don't know. But the more I look at it, the more I like it, actually. I mean, it's massively overkill, but it's a fantasy map. And it ties in with this island as well, which has got the essential lighthouse and the pier as well. Yeah, I'm okay with it, really. It certainly works for me better than the trees on the sides of the mountains. Now, how do you get onto the essential lighthouse? Somebody please explain to me how you get up there. Anyway, over this side of the map, the boring part of the map, isn't that boring to me. This swathe of just like rolling hillside with trees on it, this is so easy for it not to work. And you know what? It works. You've managed to do a boring thing very well indeed. I'm quite impressed there, Artifis. And then down here we have, ooh, it's a castle. Ooh, it's a castle. It's just tucked in using the mountains for 3 sides of walls, and we've got the little the cemetery at the back. And I nearly missed it, tucked away in there. So good work. The essential sorry, everybody's favourite factory. That's it. It's not the essential lighthouse. This is the bit I wanted to show you, though. I'm trying to hype myself up to this little area. Look at the rock detailing along here, acting as a retaining wall. That is bordering on perfection. I think there's one person amongst you that'll look at that and go, well, yeah, but that looks a bit wonky. Yeah, I saw that too. But I'm not going to hype on it because I really like it. So there. If I really like it, I'm not going to harp on it. It's just a little bit bulgy in one place. This guy isn't though, is he? Monumento a Simón Bolívar, America Latina by PeterBar. PeterBar, well done. In fact, the model, when you look at it on the content manager, is called Peter Bolívar. That's hilarious. Anyway, factoids because factoids. Why not? Simón José Antonio de la Santísima Trinidad Bolívar y Ponte Palacios y Blanco, born 24th of July 1783, was a Venezuelan military and political leader who led what are currently the countries of Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, Panama, Peru and Bolivia to independence from the Spanish Empire. Bolívar resigned the presidency on the 27th of April 1830, intending to leave the country for exile in Europe. He had already sent several crates of belongings, including his writings, ahead of him to Europe, but he died before setting sail. He died on the 17th of December 1830. Simón Bolívar, an absolute legend. Was it La Libertador something? My Spanish is as good as my German. PeterBar. Great creator, one of those great Latin creators that we've got at the moment. A whole pack of them. Monticello and Checamex, all doing great work. Anyway, what do you think of today's map? You're gonna love it, don't you? You love it, don't you? Don't let me influence you. You tell me, is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewers' Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the like button now or the link in the description will take you to the voting page where you can vote for free. But what do I think of today's map? Aesthetically, put my tongue back in there. Aesthetically, it's very strong. It's memorable. I'm liking a lot of things about this. And you know what? I think I've got to go high 4. Doesn't quite feel 5 stars. But there's one or two bulgy bits and stuff. But I do feel it's a very, very, very strong map. Detailing, yeah, the bulgy bits. 1 or 2 things not to taste. Not entirely sure about the trees on the sides of the mountains like that, the spindlies. But it's still 4 stars down the middle. I mean, it's still strong, the whole thing. As is gameplay. It's strong. The whole thing is very, very strong. Not entirely sure about the highway layout. I think there's more that can be done with this. But you know what? It's still very playable. I'm going in there with middle 4 again. Even though I think the highway layout could do, and the rail could do with a bit of work, personally. Minbay, Artifis. Seal of approval. Well done. I rephrase that. I love this map. I love it. As a, not just as a map, but as a piece of art. It's a beauty. Good to see. Very good to see. Anyway, see that list of people? They are my BonBonBuddy supporters. The group is getting quite large. I'd like you to join them. But if you can't, that's fine. you're still here, you can be part of that 20 and out elite instead. Use that word of the day in the comments, score yourself some population points just for fun, and I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What's Map series. See you soon.